Hi everyone and welcome back to Nick's Diecast. For today's video I'm going to be showing you guys some of the methods that I use to display my model cars. So we're back in my room right now, and as you can see here I have a Mercedes-Benz theme going on up on this shelf. I'll often do that. I'll often display my cars like by theme, and what I do is every like 2 weeks or so, maybe a week and a half or so, I'll switch everything out. That way I can distribute my entire collection and I can display things at least once a year is my goal to have, even because a lot of my cars are these smaller scale cars you see here. I have a few hundred of those. So in this way I can display them throughout the year in different themes and all that. But right now I have the Mercedes-Benz theme going on here. So I'll usually put four 1/18 scale cars kind of displayed on an angle on this shelf. And you guys have seen all these models before. I've done reviews of them and an unboxing of this Maybach right here. But I usually put the four 1/18 scale cars up here like so. And then in the back, or I also have some non-model car items up here. I have my Lego Technic cherry picker and my tractor up here, because I'm also into Legos as well. And some random little knickknacks here and there too, like Mr. Raisin. And then I display one way I used to display my 1/64 scale cars is this Auto World case here. I got this from Toys R Us back when they were still open. I got it when they were having their sales back in 2018. And this came with a free car. It was a 1967 Corvette, so I thought that was pretty cool. And this is really nice. This door actually opens, and you can actually get mirror stickers for the backs of the case back here. The reflection really looks like there's cracks in this. I don't know why. I think the bumper of the Maybach's shining off, so those aren't cracks. That's just the reflection. But as you can see, I put the 6 cars inside, then I put 3 on top. It's nice to put them on top. And you can actually get multiple of these Auto World cases and stack them like so. And this did come with wall mounts in the back. There's a couple holes. It's hard to see. Back there, you can see there's some holes for wall mounts. But I like to have it kind of sitting on the shelf like this. And I do dust and clean it on occasion. But as you can see in here, I have all my, not all my Mercedes-Benzes, but some of my favorite ones that I have from the collection. And then sometimes I'll put cars around the display case like so. I got my 450 SEL Taxi and regular versions from Matchbox from 1979. But yeah, that's kind of, so this is one shelf that I have with cars on display. So on this shelf, I usually put some 1/43 scale cars on display. I have kind of a 1950s theme going here. So here's a 53 Chevy truck, and then a Pontiac Safari, and a Chevy Bel Air. And I'll switch these out often too. Usually what I'll do is every 2 weeks I'll switch out all the cars I have on display with new ones. But sometimes I'll keep them out longer. Like these I've actually kept out a little bit longer, just because I couldn't get to, digging out on my 1/43 scale cars. But again, with these I try to display every car at least once a year. It doesn't always work out, but for the most part with my system, I'm able to get a lot of cars out on display like during the year and everything. Then on this shelf, I usually put another 1/18 scale car on display that usually fits in with the theme either up here on the top shelf or on my other shelf, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is my Norrev Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Then on the bottom shelf here, I'll usually put some of my Tomica models. I have a bunch of them from Walmart that I've collected over the past year, and some from Amazon, like this Beetle and this Mazda Roadster back here. And I also have a variety of old Matchbox cars with their boxes too, so I'll put those down here as well. I don't really have a theme. I just pick, 4 cars with their boxes and I put them down here. But sometimes I'll do a theme with like the Tomicas. Like I have a variety of Toyotas and like police vehicles from Tomica. So if I have enough for a theme, I usually do that as well. Then up here on my dresser, I usually put 2 1/18 scale cars up here that either go with one another or from like the same era and whatnot. So I have my 2 Nissans up here right now. I got my Nissan GTR here, got my Nissan 350Z over here. And then on my windowsill, what I'll usually do is I'll put 8 or so 1/64 scale cars that either go with the theme up here, or sometimes I'll have them go with the theme with like my display case and everything. In this case, I have some 1/64 scale Nissans lined up here, as you can see. And again, I switch these out every couple weeks or so, just so I have, you know, some diversity and some variation with what I have out and everything like that. So yeah, that's it for how I display things in my room. All right, then down in the basement here, we have these bookshelves in one of the rooms down here. I put my 1/24th scale cars on display, and much like my cars in my room, I will rotate these. I don't rotate these as frequently as the other cars, like upstairs and everything. These will probably be like up here for like a month and everything. But I don't really have a set theme going on. If I just pick, you know, 7 cars and then I put them like so. So I have my Cord, my Mercedes Gullwing, 70 Corvette ZR1 that I actually got recently from CVS, Ford F350 concept, and the Mini Countryman. But I might try like putting 1/18 scale cars on this shelf too. It's just kind of like narrow in this direction, so I think it's the perfect size for 1/24th scale cars. Overall, if you can like display cars in like one room of your house, like have a whole wall just dedicated to it, then I'd say go for it. But I kind of like the idea of having multiple locations where cars are displayed, if you can go for that. I hope to one day maybe have like a single room in like my own house where I just have like all cars on display, like maybe have a wall display case of all 1/64th scale cars and everything like that. You can get a variety of display cases that you can hang up on the wall and put on shelves from like Amazon and whatnot. I'm kind of saving that for when I have like my own place and I can, you know, like redo it and stuff to shape, you know, like my collection and everything like that. And down here we actually also have a little shelving unit for some 1/18 scale cars. This was actually used as a bookshop, but then we moved it down here a few months back, and it kind of fits, you know, 2 cars per on each shelf. So we thought it was a nice kind of thing to put more 1/18 scale cars on. My brother and I share this. You can see that the 4 cars in the middle are his, and then I got 2 Corvettes down on the bottom here, and then 2 on top there. So really, any kind of like small bookshelf like this would work, and even one that like goes kind of floor to ceiling. And you can maybe even fit up to 3 cars. We just have them kind of spread out. And because these aren't that really, and because they aren't like really that far back, it's kind of hard to fit like longer cars like this Ford GT and kind of squeeze like a 3rd car in there. But this is just one of many ways you can kind of repurpose like furnishings to display your cars. And yeah, this is kind of open shelving, so we do have to occasionally dust them and whatnot. But open shelving really does look nice with putting out these cars. And since I filmed that last part of the video, I have gotten this larger case here. You guys have seen this on my Instagram page and probably in a video or 2. I know in my end of year video, I featured it in it. This is just another way that you can put your cars out for people to see. You can still have a full open shelf. Like here I have some 1/18 scale cars in front of the case. It actually worked out pretty perfectly because the way that the case is in terms of height, it has these legs on it. It's high up enough that I can put these cars in front of it and it won't obstruct the view of any of the cars that are in the case back here. So you can go for something small like that clear case I had, or you can go for something bigger like this one. Just make sure you always like measure. If you're gonna get like a case like this, make sure you always measure. If you're gonna hang it up on the wall, like measure like how big the wall is, just to make sure it fits. And measure, in this case, measure how wide like the shelf is if you're putting it on a shelf, like this. So I hope these many kind of displaying techniques I showed you were helpful, maybe inspirational in some ways too. But yeah. For our case, we have like many parts of the house that we put cars in. You may want to put just all your cars in the same room. Maybe just have like one entire wall with like a display case on it, or have them kind of spread out throughout the house. But it really is up to you, and in terms of like what cars you have, like what you want to have out, and like how much space you have. But there really is a lot you can do with this kind of thing. As always, I hope this video was helpful, and feel free to comment down below with how you put your cars out for people to see. Thanks for watching.